Today Monday 21st of September 2015. Now let's see the paper highlights from today's newspaper. Paper news is read by Christina Grace. First, let's look at the paper highlights from Daily Mirror. Strong intent in new vessel government to address rights issues. The new Sri Lankan government has a very strong intent in addressing rights concern to Obama administration, officials said, calling for a credible domestic probe with the substantial involvement in international community to address justice and accountability. Less than a month after she visited Sri Lanka ahead for a circular report on alleged war crimes during the country's decades-long civil war with the LTTE. Assistant Secretary of State of South and Central Asia Nisha Desai Bishwal told to PTI on Friday, but we would say very strong intent. We have seen that the government and the past 9 months in office has done more to try to build a trust and move the country towards more inclusive society than perhaps been done in the last 9 years and beyond, said Bishwal, in administration point person in South and Central Asia. Another news highlight from Daily Mirror. Police seek court order to send DNA samples. The blood samples of 2 suspects who were arrested in the connection with sexual abuse and killing of 5-year-old girl Seya Sandevmi will be sent genetic laboratory for DNA testing, police said. Police will be making a request from the Minuangoda Magistrate Court to issue order in this regard today. The DNA was analyzed by the police from the 2 hair locks recovered from the body of the deceased child. They said the suspect would be produced at the chief JMO of the Nigambo District Hospital for medical examination. The CID arrested 17-year-old schoolboy, another man aged 33, who were living in the vicinity of the girl's house in connection with the rape and murder of Seya. The suspects were later remanded in September 28 by Minuangoda Magistrate. Now let's move to the another news highlight from Daily Mirror. All should work in unity, Western Province Chief Minister. Chief Minister of Western Province Isuru Deshapriya said that all the PZ members and WPZ would be allocated with financial provisions equally, respective for party politics for the development work, and he hopes to work with the concept of national governments with the provincial council as we have national government for the country. When he made this comment when he visitors of Mahanayakapera of Malvatta and Asgiriya chapter after resuming the duties as the chief minister. Another news highlight from Daily Mirror. No party wanted debate on Constitutional Council member. No party representing Parliament had asked for a debate on 3 civil members of the Constitutional Council so far, the Parliament sources said yesterday. The name of the 3 members, Sarvodaya Chief Dr. A.T. Aryaratne, former UN Under-Secretary Radhika Kumaraswamy, and President Council Shibli Aziz are expecting to be presented to Parliament on Tuesday. Another news highlight from Daily Mirror. Weather will improve Meteorology Department, confirming that a low pressure disturbance in the Bay of Bengal and caused wet weather during the past few days. The Department of Meteorology yesterday assumed that the effect will gradually decline. Another news highlight from Daily Mirror. SLFP committee to discuss response to UNHRC report. The Central Committee of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party has appointed a special committee to decide on the party's stand regarding the report of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on Sri Lanka. The committee comprises former President Chandrika Kumaratunga and ministers Nimal Siripala de Silva, Susil Premajayanta, Aruna Priyadarshana Yapa, Mahinda Samarasinghe, Faizar Mustafa and Dilan Pereira. The decision on appointment to the committee was taken at the Central Committee meeting chaired by President Maithripala Sirisena held last Friday at the letters official said. Another news highlight from Daily Mirror. DIG remanded. Deputy Inspector General of Vaunia Police UK Disanayaka had been remanded till September 23rd after he surrendered to the police on Saturday night, police said. DIG Disanayaka was allegedly involved in illegal treasure huntings in Vaunia. He was remanded after being produced before the Colombo Fort Acting Magistrate. The police investigation had been launched to arrest the DIG on charges of aiding and abetting the treasure hunt in Vaunia 3 months ago. More news highlights from Daily Mirror. Vehicle leasing rate limited to 70%. Temporary measure to reduce number of new vehicles. Deputy Minister of Transport Ashok Abesinghe said the government made the compulsory to pay 30% of the value of the vehicle to the leasing company when purchasing a vehicle on lease, and it was just a temporary measure to reduce the number of new vehicles registered and not to create a hardship to purchase a vehicle. Now let's move to the paper highlights from Daily News. High-profile UN working group on disappearance to visit SL in November. The UN Working Group on Enforced Disappearance and Involuntary Disappearance is to visit Sri Lanka from November 19 to 18. Its chair, Ariel Laletsky, informed the UN Human Rights Council. The time for words, the promises is over. It is now the time for action on behalf of relatives to support their fight for truth, justice, reparation and memory, Ariel Laletsky told the UNHRC session last Friday. He also presented working group report on its visit to the Western Balkans, the follow-up the recommendations made. Another news highlight from Daily News. 3 prison officers interdicted. 3 prison officers attached to the Colombo remand prison were interdicted for allegedly providing special assistance to the remand prisoner. Commissioner General of Prisons Rohana Pushpakumara ordered the interdiction of the prison guard, jailer and sergeant on charges of helping a suspect. According to prison department officials, the 3 prison guards are alleged to provide the special provisions to a drug trafficker. Another news highlight from Daily News. Ready to face trial, Fonseca. Democratic Party founder and former Army Commander Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca offered himself to face a domestic court of law on allegations against the military operation during the Elam War. In an interview with the Hindu, Fonseca, who was conferred by the present regime with the highest military rank of the Field Marshal, said, "If there are allegations against military operations, I'm ready to face anybody to present the right picture. There is no problem. My consensus is clear." Now let's move to the paper highlights from Ceylon today. Mahanayaka wants special police unit on rape. The Mahanayaka of the Malwate and Asgiriya chapter called for a special police unit to be established to control the rising level of rape, child sexual abuse, murder and crimes. Another news highlight from Ceylon today. Missing girl located with lover. A 17-year-old girl who went missing from 3 months while she was going with her mother on the road was found by the police and arrested when she was hidden in a house at Ampara with her lover. More news highlight from Ceylon today. Girl child sexually abused. Ganemulla police had arrested 3 individuals who had sexually abused an 8-year-old girl. The child had been abused by her grandfather, her uncle and other young men, police claimed. The police said the child had been sexually abused several times. According to the information received, her father of the child had died by the hanging himself and the mother worked in a garment factory and child was abused when the mother was at work, they added. Another news highlight. NIB appointments to SLFP organizer. NIB appointment letter will be provided to the all electoral organizers of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party with the signature of the President Maithripala Sirisena in his capacity as the SLPF's chairman. The decision has been taken at the party Central Committee meeting held at the last Friday under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. We brought you the paper highlights of today's newspaper. We will bring you more tomorrow. Thank you.